Welcome, everyone. We've got Josh here with Showami. I call it Showami. Whatever it is, you got to use it. It's an amazing tool we've been using for a few years now. And my agents on the team absolutely love it because when they're busy, this is how they can get multiple things done and still keep that momentum where sometimes we slow down, we don't get it back in time. So, Josh, welcome. Appreciate you, man. Where do you want to start with this? Because I don't know that everyone knows about Showami, and I'd like you to at least bring some light as to where you guys are going, what you guys have done.
All right. Yep. Let's give the quick 5-second elevator pitch onto what we do. Guys, we are the largest community of agents helping agents across the US, whether that is home showings, which is what we're most known for. Then there's open houses. So you can have another agent host an open house for you. And then we have other tasks that we've gone into, whether that's an inspection, a condition report for your clients. And I think where we're going, so some of the things that we've been talking about and the things that we've introduced over the last year have been really even geared toward the rental side. So if you are an agent and you own rental properties and you're showing your rental properties, you don't have to anymore. We do have it in our system so that you can do your rentals too. So we really want to be all in one real estate go-to, community.
Perfect, man. How many people are on Showami altogether? I think you guys are like 200,000 or so.
Just shy. We are maybe several hundred shy of that 200,000 mark.
That's
We are
nuts, man.
just
That
about
is
there.
nuts.
So I'm excited to hit that mark because that was like my goal for this year. I'm like, we're gonna get 200,000. We're gonna get it. So I still have 2 more weeks to hit that number. So guys, make sure that at the end of today's, we do have something just for those that stick around for the webinar. You are going to want to see what we're offering you as new users to our platform. So I'm excited. I'm excited to tell you guys how you can earn more money or get more for your time, how to take what you're already doing and multiply it. That's my goal. By the end of this webinar, I don't want you just to sign up for Showami and get the cool credits that we have, but I want you to make more money next year. 2026 is around the corner, and you got to make more than you made in 2025. So
I agree, man. And this, I think people will see it helps in both markets. It's a up market, a down market, whatever market you're in, you can definitely use it. Our market, by the way, is right in the middle, LA, like almost zero change year over year, which is kind of nutty, but it works here too.
We are seeing when we talk to a lot of partners, like it's pretty flat around the US. It's not. There are certain markets that are still hot and certain ones that are going down, but definitely hitting some flat times for sure.
Dude, look who surprised us.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
who's this guy popping in here?
What is this?
We're talking top agent of the year years ago with 54 plus transactions in a year. That guy.
He surprised us.
Solo agent.
Hey, that's why I started. That's why I created it. So 100%.
Yeah, we actually have that story as far as leveraging your time instead of trying to find help everywhere and spending hours doing so. It'd be nice if it was just at the click of a button.
Yeah, agreed. All right.
So
what's up with Mr. Ryan Serhant here? One of our buddies.
We started right away with Ryan and his quote, and we're going to focus mostly on sort of the second half where he talks about leverage. I only focus on and do the work that only I can do. Everything else, and I mean everything that could be done by someone else should be done by somebody else. Yeah. And today, that's a large part of our focus. And we wanted to bring in multiple people who talk about this, people that you guys in your day-to-day real estate sort of look to. Now, whether Serhant is your flavor, or we can always go with Mr. Tom Ferry, who even also talks about delegation, right? He talks about, making sure that you outsource what can be done without your direct involvement, okay? Oh, and I think you guys might recognize this one.
I know this guy. He looks kind of better than I do, though.
Dude, his hair is always on point.
Just like yours. Just like yours.
So if you guys didn't know, Brilliant Tribe had their article written back in 2022. So this is, well, he's ahead of the curve for today's conversation. We're about creating a system for yourself where you can maximize your productivity. I mean, talk about if you could take on one more deal every single year, what would that look like for your business? And really, we're going to take one step back and we're going to say, what is your hourly worth? Most
Mm,
agents don't even calculate this. But when we
that's
pull the
true.
number, this is kind of what it looks like, right? Now, every market's different. I understand the average home sale in every market, ups, downs, splits, this and that. But when we're
Mhm,
looking at national averages, this is what we're looking at, okay? So when you're calculating what your time is worth, again, going back to some of these quotes, we're talking about time, value, and money. If you could get one more sale every year, now everybody's splits are different. Everybody's got different fees, different
mhm,
structures. So for the sake of today, we're going to use $10,000 as your take home after an average sale of $400,000 home. I hope
mhm.
that's good with everybody. I like easy numbers. I hope you guys like easy numbers. That's my objective.
I'll take that, man.
Right? So when we are talking about back to those per hour values, right? If you were to hire somebody to do something for you, it needs to be at or less than the hourly rate that you currently value yourself and your time at.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully I want everybody to be in that experienced producer to that top 1 to 5%.
It's interesting that you bring this up. I didn't know you were gonna bring this slide up, and I love this because as I'm noticing my just this is just the team, not the brokerage, okay? And we're about to sign up for the brokerage as well with you guys,
Mhm.
but on the team side, I noticed that as my team members start growing in the team and they start producing more, the first question that comes my way is, "Hey, Tristan, can we get some help on the showing side? Because now I've got this listing I need to do. I don't want to lose my prospecting. I don't want to lose the momentum." And then you start noticing that they start growing, they start making more money. And the first thing they need to do is outsource the showings, right? But their concern is is the person I'm going to hire as good as I am to show this property? It's always a question I get, right?
Right?
Um, but it's cool to see that the next thought along the line of growth is can't be everywhere. I need somebody to help me. And this is why you guys were so quick to jump into our world with my team because that was the solution for us. Like I didn't have to hire a showing agent, right? And
Mhm.
in fact, I know some of the agents here locally go up here and they take those showing requests and now it's the other side of this. So you really are serving two sides to this and I don't know that people see the full picture. That's why I think this is really important.
Yeah, and I think when you take a look at the requests coming in, if anything is between that 26 and $50 an hour, and you are a newer agent picking these up, this is when you break down your time, you're doing very well on a per showing basis. So it's really exciting to see that dynamic is in there where we do have agents that are newer getting that business or even experienced but are kind of in that retirement phase. They're kind of sitting there going, I just want to show homes. I don't really want to work these deals anymore. I'll refer out business and everything like that. Picking up the request and knowing that they're making more than the average new agent per hour. So
Oh,
super,
yeah.
super exciting.
Makes
I love
sense,
seeing.
man.
Yes. And that brings us to those use cases. Okay. And we're going to go through some showing numbers. But
Mm.
let's talk about those showings and the per hour basis versus and mindset of doing this versus referring. If you are familiar with that other market, consider using a showing agent instead of referring it out. Maybe it's a 2 hour drive. Maybe because you used to live in, great example, I live in Fort Myers. Tampa's a 2 hour drive from me. If I lived in Tampa for the last 3 years but just moved down, why wouldn't I don't want to be driving up there for my old clients. It would be nicer and not have to refer it out to just have somebody else take care of those. And when we're looking at that dollar value, that take home, that's a big difference. That's a $3,000 difference.
Yeah.
This could be different states. You can leverage agents in various states. We have somebody who used to live in Las Vegas, moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and used us actually on both sides. So they were requesting back in Las Vegas because they have to support their move. It's very hard to move to a new market and start fresh,
Yeah.
right? So you want to
True.
keep as much of the business going as possible in your old market. So they were leveraging us for that, and then picking up requests in the Jacksonville market so that they could learn what the homes look like in different areas and get a better idea while still making a little bit of income. So when we are thinking about these things, this is what we're looking at as far as showings go. But referrals, there is always going to be a need and a use case to refer out clients. We are not saying that showings are replacing referrals, okay? If you do not and are not licensed in another state and have a referral for an agent in another state, please refer that out. You don't need to be working a business in a state that you're not licensed.
Yeah.
Additionally, you don't know that area. A great example, I live in Fort Myers. Yes, I know Miami and I know Tampa. But if you asked me anything about Jacksonville being the opposite side of Florida, yeah, I'm not going to know enough to represent a client. And as an agent, your duty is to the client in the best interest of them. So those are cases where you might look and say, I'm going to refer this one out.
Makes sense.
Matt,
I like that.
you've got 2 cents on this one.
Yeah. So when I moved down to Florida, I was still licensed in Colorado, and my best friend's son, which Mike, wanted to buy a home, and here I am in a completely different state. I knew the area, I knew my client, and so I was able to have an agent up in Fort Collins show him the properties. We got him under contract. I still showed up for the closing, but the inspector, I knew who the inspector was. They did the inspection. I'm not going to do the inspection. So I hired professionals to help him in the areas that he needed help. Same thing with, he's getting a mortgage. The appraiser's the one who's going to verify the value of the home. I already knew it was the value because I knew that market, but it allowed me to help, my best friend's son buy a home in a totally different state. Now I was familiar with the area, but I never had to be there. I showed up for the closing. It was just a beautiful situation. So I have personally used this to help my family members out, or my best friends, for sure.
That's a cool scenario.
Yeah.
Yes. And as Tristan kind of talked about earlier, like looking at your time in a different perspective. Now, we on the left have different ways that a showing can cost you, right? He was talking about his agents trying to keep business flowing, right? Making the calls, connecting with future clients, while also being stuck on the showing side. You can have this as leveraging another agent. So you can do, on the left, these are what it costs you at the end of the day. And I love the bottom one, personal time. It is why we started Showami. Matt was on the ski slopes and was sitting down, calling, texting, finding anybody he can to pick up a request for him
Yes.
in Denver. And he's sitting there, and imagine he's with a friend the whole time. Now his time and attention is no longer on his friend. Every time he's on the ski lift, his time and attention is on the client that's trying to go see a home. And so now he goes on, takes him 2 minutes, he takes care of it on the ski lift, and he's back to having a conversation with his friend. The same thing goes for family members, especially as we enter the holidays coming up, as we have holiday vacations. I was actually just in Ireland. An agent happened to be with me. And while she was on the trip, 3 new prospects came in wanting to see homes. And of course, I'm sitting down talking to her. She's like, this would have been a lot easier than mine. She's like, I paid somebody $1,000 to cover all my business. She's like, I would rather just one off some of these tasks. So
Yes.
she's sitting there in Ireland trying to take care of business. I was with her. We were in the lobby, and she's sitting there on calls, trying to handle every little aspect. But man, personal time is one of the biggest pieces that we can help you handle. Craziest story was the woman that had her anniversary. She drove 4 hours to get to remote Jackson Hole for this trip from where she lives. And somebody wanted to go see a home as soon as she hit that property, that rental property. So her husband's there, just poured that champagne glass, ready to enjoy. She gets there and she leaves to go do the showing and come back. I can tell you right now from what she said, when she came back, there was some divorce papers right on the desk. Guys, there are ways and things to help you guys handle your business. We don't
Yeah,
want those to happen. So value your personal time.
that's a great point. Do you guys ever get compared to the Uber of real estate? Anybody use that language typically? Yeah, right? I would
Yep.
assume so.
all the time.
I would say the difference is, though, you're allowing the agent that's producing at a large amount to leverage their time through you, not just the other way around where I'm going to find an agent to help me, right? Because the agent helping me is also making money. But I think the piece that's sometimes missed is, well, because I leveraged it out, I'm also making more money because I can focus on my top priorities. And more importantly, like both of you just said, like I have a life too, right? I can take care of those things that I need to.
Hmm.
I think sometimes that piece is missed.
It definitely is missed. Uh, we met somebody who literally admits to us that they only use us one day to the year, and that's their birthday. That was by far the most using personal time story. She goes, "I love you one day out of the year. When it's
That's
my
kind of
birthday,
cool, man.
never showing up." It's like, hey, you're happy. I'm happy. However you look at it,
Yeah, that's kind
So
of cool. I like that.
everybody's got a different reason for that. You can't make every showing. You get more business when you're on vacation. We all seen it. The minute you go on vacation, you go out, you leave, your phone's gonna ring. And guys, I want you to also know that the same thing happens at open houses. There's a lot of time that is eaten up at an open house, and especially if you know that that time or that weekend is not a particularly good one, but your client insists on you holding that open house, think about having another agent host it for you. Now, the average is $100 in open house. That is the average, is mostly on a per hour basis that you're going to want to examine those. So make sure that you're paying them appropriately for that. If you want the leads to come to you, if you don't, that's up to you and that agent. Additionally, if you are a very heavy producing agent, it's a fun fact and a fact that NAR notes that 4% of home sales have originated from an open house. So any open house has a 4% chance of getting a client.
All right, so I haven't tested this one. Neither have my agents, but so I have a question about this.
Sure.
With the open house, if our agents are going to use this, especially in areas where homes aren't selling like they used to, right? Now all of a sudden I have more listings. I need to do more open houses as part of the process. Um, does the agent we hire through Showami, do they put up the signs or do we put up the signs? How does that work?
That's
The
actually, oh, go ahead. I think it's actually part of the conversation you have with that agent to decide whether or not who puts the signs up. So
Yeah,
Got it.
the expectation is that the showing agent who's going to be out there hosting it has signs. They when they accept the showing, they sign a thing that basically says, "I have signs. I'll be there a half an hour early to put the signs out and be 100% prepared." So the expectation is that the showing agent would, but if you've got special signs that the agents use that are branded or whatever, 100% they could use those as well. That's just a conversation you would have with the person that picks it up.
All right, that actually makes sense. They have signs. They want to drive traffic to the open house. They want to create business for themselves. Dude, I love this, especially now that I'm thinking, so we're going to sign up Y Realty, right? And
Yeah.
we're about to open up in Tampa. So that's cool, right? So
woohoo,
that'll be our first point in Florida. But now I'm thinking, because we're going to sign up Y Realty in Showami, and then when anybody requests a showing just for our agents, they can see it first, and then it goes out to the next circle. Does that work the same way for open houses?
Yes.
So
It
if I
works.
want to say
Yeah.
only Y Realty agents first, show me, right? Go out. And if nobody picks it up, at what point does it go to the rest of everybody? Does that fall on me pressing a button?
It
10
has a
minutes.
10-minute timer. Yep.
Oh,
So
dude.
with our average time being less than 3 minutes, a 10-minute timer allows for just enough agents in your brokerage to receive the requests, or your team to receive those requests before it goes out to the population. And on top of that, that second layer, if in fact you have a large team, the second layer will then also include agents from the brokerage as well. So there's kind of a
Perfect.
dual layer that kind of plays into that.
Perfect. I love that. Well, dude, I'm excited to test this out. So, as a brokerage, obviously, because it's performed so well for the team.
Yeah, and our objective is that, if you are a high producing agent or a mid producing agent and you're looking to scale, that's what we're here for, guys. That's what this conversation's about, is scale, 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 leveraging others. And one of the questions that we do get, and I'll address that for both slides that we were talking about, the showings and the open houses. Something to note is that, Tristan brought up, well, is that agent of the same caliber that I am? Well, the other question that comes up is, how do I receive feedback from my client? Like, the biggest thing about showing is hearing them talk about the property, so I know the next home that they're going to go see isn't is going to align with what they're looking for. Guys, have a call after the showing. There's nothing wrong with that follow-up. In
So
fact, that's the
true.
best piece that you could get, is saying, hey, I know you guys just completed showing with so and so. Even if you have to automate the text, now if you have an Android phone, you can automate that with the scheduling portion of your phone, so you can pre-text once they're completed.
Mhm.
Hey, give me two sentences about what you liked about the home. I'd love to set up a call to talk more. Boom, that's automated. If you have a CRM that does it, even better. But
And we
That's
we
that,
get a lot of times the agents will find somebody that they like working with, right? They
yes,
click, right? The showing agent and the initiating agent. And you can always
correct.
put requests and put them in as the preferred agent. So they're seeing the client, they're helping you build your brand. And I wanted to talk about really the conversation that a person has with the client when you're first going out and you're meeting them and you're approaching the showing agent model. It's important to show this as a benefit right now. And I have that conversation with my clients. I'm not always available. There are times where, I have things in my schedule that I can't move, but I don't want that to keep you from seeing the home when you need to. So I have this team of showing agents. So if you put that in your buyer's presentation right up front and overcome the objections, it's not even an objection. It's a bonus. Like, you get me and my team of showing agents. That's
True.
you know
I think
so
that
yeah.
that's not brought up enough either, man.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
when I'm signing up, guys, for this, it's free, number one. But there are two things on the back end that we hadn't brought up. At least I don't remember bringing up. You guys tell me. One is that you guys have Tether built into the back end,
mhm.
right? So
Yep.
that's one. Explain that to me, and then the other one right after. Explain Showami Platinum, because that's different. So I want to know about both.
Sure. I'll take Tether, and Josh, you can take Platinum. So when Tether came out, we had already been looking, and we're almost going to build a safety part of our app, right? Because we wanted to struggle detection. So like, if you're in a situation, you're at home, and something happens where you're in a struggle, we would want the police to be notified, and we would want family members and your contacts to know to call you and give your location. So Tether does that. On top of it, they have a lookup, like you can enter in a phone number or a name and look up who you're going to be meeting, so that you're not going to a showing blind. well, this is really important. Like, we're doing hundreds of thousands of these, right? We want the agents to be safe. So the minute
Yeah.
that, Tether came to be, we immediately got a hold of Vanessa and the whole team, and we're
Makes
like,
sense.
hey, how do we partner? And so we're all in on it. We said any agent who's with Showami, we want them to have this. So yeah, as long as they're active on the platform, it's part of your service, and you just download it and use it. It's also got some cool things like the mileage tracker. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I like that. Yeah, I don't think we had brought that up before. At least I don't remember. And then platinum. Tell me, how does that work?
Platinum is $75 a year. So that gets you access to special requests types. So whether that's a task, whether you need a lockbox runner, you need somebody to go do some quick condition photos. Open houses is also part of that. So requesting open houses, those are all part of the Platinum. Additionally, there's
Oh.
an internal referral network. So you can send and receive referrals in Showami. These are actual people referring out business. We have $1 off every request. And then we also have what's called a client portal. So let's say you have a client who's frequently asking for a lot of showings. And you
Mhm.
might sit there and or it's a family member in a market that you used to be in 2 hours away. You can give them access to what's called the client portal. So you invite them in and they can go in and request their showings. You can either approve them or say,
Mm.
I'll show it. This relieves you as the agent from having to always go into Showami and enter it in, but having them on an autopilot.
So that answers Kimberly's question then?
Oh, Kimberly's question is specific to having an agent that that you keep using. So yes, if you do have a relationship with a specific agent, you want to keep reusing them in Showami,
Mhm.
you can do what's called the preferred agent. You enter their name in, and they get a 10-minute head start on your requests. So, Kimberly,
Boom.
we do have that built in under the preferred agents. When you do go to create your request, there is that section. It is specific to that 10-minute mark because at the end of the day, our goal is to get it picked up for you. And we don't know if your friend is actually available at that time on that day in that area. So,
That makes sense. So you're treating that section like you do the brokerage. It
mhm.
goes to the brokerage agents and then expands out 10 minutes later.
Yeah,
That's actually cool, kinda cool, guys. I like that a lot. It's simple too to remember.
yeah,
Very
exactly.
cool.
Anything at the end of a showing, if you like somebody, heart them, it adds them to that list automatically. You just type in their name later. Very, very cool. All right. So I told you guys, look, today's about giving you value. My hope is that you've either learned and can implement something from today's call to get one more deal so that you get that 9,000 plus, or whether you're not going to refer something out because it makes more sense to actually do the showing portion so you get $3,000 in value from today's call, whether you're utilizing an open house host and it gains you that 3 hours worth of your prospecting time so that you could land that extra account and make 9,000 more, or last but not least, when we talked about personal time, I hope to God we also save your marriage, saving you thousands in legal fees and splits. So
Dude, that would make an amazing ad.
it should be,
Oh, by the
like
way, yeah,
get that time back with your kids so they're
that's so
young
fun.
and enjoy it. Absolutely. Have a sick day. That's almost impossible as an agent, but now you can. Look, guys, we told you we'd also give you something today. Get $10 off your first request. This is your lab coat agent's uh, link. So this will give you a little bit of an extra benefit. We're also available for Q&A, right? I think we have a little bit of time. Can we
Yeah,
take one or
we
two?
do, man. We do.
Hey, if
Um,
you got a question, hit us in the comments.
a couple of questions here. One, Kimberly, more like an add-on. Thank you. A good practice maybe to give the agent the heads up that the request is coming through. Um, what do you guys say to that?
So she's 100% right. So there are agents that have such a great relationship with their Showami agent. They will
Mhm.
text them ahead of the fact that they're putting in a request. They're like, "Hey, I'm entering in a request in 20 minutes. be ready. Like,
Mm,
even though they
I
get the
like
tip
that.
and the head start, they still
Yeah.
do this. It's funny to me, but I know why they do it. You really want to make sure that that person you like gets it and gets that heads up first. Additionally, it gives you that blanket of security. And the reason why they're still going through Showami is, again, if they're unavailable, somebody else is ready to pick it up for you.
Okay. Another question on Facebook, not here,
Okay.
is how do you vet the agents that are going to be used as showing agents?
Awesome. Matt, you want to take this one or you want me to?
Yeah, 100%. So the first thing, everybody gets we verify that they're actively licensed. So that's one of the first things we do. Then we do an identity check. So if you make it through the first round, then we'll do an identity check to make sure that you are who you say you are. Then we have some training that the agents will go through. So that's our
Okay.
beginning. Then they'll once they do a showing, we have each agent provide feedback and reviews of each other. So it's kind of like
Mm,
the social proof of, hey, did they do a good job? It's very simple, but the more
okay.
stars that you get, more 5 stars that you get, the higher you move up in the algorithm and you get more opportunities. If we see somebody who's getting 3 stars or less, we make a phone call, find out what happened. If it's not a good fit, we just remove them from the platform. So
Okay.
a lot of social
That's good.
proof, a lot of agents reviewing each other.
I
We
like
also
that. Oh,
highly, highly put them going through our courses. We have different courses, and going through our courses definitely helps.
Yep.
perfect. And then Mark Wright has a question. How does this work when E&O and contracts don't allow agents outside of the brokerage to show clients or hold open our listings?
Uh, that would be new to me. So basically, the E&O covers people that are party to the transaction.
Mhm.
Shawami's agents are not party to the transaction. They're a third party door opening service. So they're not a party to the transaction. So E&O would not apply.
I mean, Mark, I'd probably just keep it to your brokerage. Like, just say, hey, these are only going to go out to our brokerage agents, and if nobody else picks it up, that's fine. It just sits there, and I have to do it, right? But at least it opens it up to your brokerage. Like as I'm growing, and we're all over the place, like California, all over California, now Florida, we're in Chicago, Wisconsin. Like in some areas, we've only got like 10 agents, but in other areas we got 100 plus. So I would say open it up and see how that goes. And the more you educate your agents saying, hey guys, we're bringing in this amazing company, here are the opportunities, I think you'll find that it works really well. All right,
Well,
guys, that brings us to time. Anything else you've got?
Go sign up. Go check it out. There's so many different things that we didn't cover in today's call that you have to just kind of dig into Showami to learn. There are different products for different people. So make sure to get in there and dig deep. We look forward to seeing you guys on Showami and joining our community.
Yeah, and then I know we're gonna showcase the way to earn money in
Yeah.
January, so that's gonna be fun too.
yep.
And then by then, I think we'll have some rounds of our agents testing it out in the brokerage side. So I'll probably be like, dude, this worked amazing. This is cool. So I'm just curious on my end how that's gonna work.
We're
Thanks,
excited.
guys. Appreciate you
Thank you.
guys. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome day, and we probably won't see you until early next year, right? At least as Showami, so or Showami. We'll see you then.